All right, so I'm going to start out nice, because Susan Wojcicki, I think so, Wojcicki, she's the former CEO of YouTube. She is a mom of, I believe, 4 or 5 children. She was a wife of 20 years, I think. It probably says in my article that I'm going to read. But she also was really not good for the YouTube community. So even though I celebrated her leaving YouTube, but the damage was done, and then things just got worse under the new CEO, I thought I would at least give acknowledgement to her no longer being with us. And then, because it's easy to jump on I'm glad this happened to her, but I'm not that guy. I'm just not that guy, especially when she's a wife, or she was a wife, had a husband, has kids, was a mom. You do have to take the high road. Personally, I value life. I think life is special. I think it's wonderful. I think we're lucky to have it. I rue the day when I will not have it anymore. Or not rue, maybe dread the day I will not have it anymore. So here's what happened. Susan Wojcicki, former CEO of YouTube, has passed at 56. She was the former CEO, died after 56 after living with lung cancer. She led the YouTube team from 2014 to 2023. She's survived by her husband, Dennis Troper, and their children. She had a battle with cancer for about 2 years. Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai wrote on X, adding that he was unbelievably saddened by the loss. She was 56. She is as core to the history of Google as anyone, and it's hard to imagine the world without her, he continued. She was an incredible person, leader, and friend who had tremendous impact on the world, and I'm one of the countless Googlers who's better for knowing her. We'll miss her dearly. Our thoughts were with her family. She's survived by her mother. That's kind of sucks, man. When your mom outlives the daughter, that definitely sucks. And they have 4 children. Now, if you don't know, the family did go through a very rough time. Back just February 20th of 2024. The son of former CEO Susan Wojcicki, remembered as an incredibly intelligent student destined for greatness, he passed as well. Me personally, what I wanted to talk about just a little bit was what she's done to YouTube. So I will wrap up the first part of this with, sorry the family lost her. Sorry that she's not with us on this world anymore. Sorry the family's going through so much, because that does suck. And again, I wouldn't necessarily celebrate someone leaving us. That being said, she ruined YouTube for many people, including myself. YouTube is the gift that you hate. It is the love-hate relationship, especially for content creators. Without YouTube, I would not be here doing a stream. I wouldn't have my Locals channel, because I created Locals and came over here on Rumble because of all the crap that was going on at YouTube. And I wouldn't be a YouTuber, because they did put pennies in my pocket. So you can't say too much bad about YouTube when they gave me a career. That being said, though, she did really make things not good for a lot of people, content creators like myself, and many of the policies she put in to this day stresses the hell out of us. Because if you're watching me on YouTube, you notice I can't use certain words, simple, silly words that newscasters all over the world say. And I can't even list them all off, but they're ridiculous. And it's because they've put in this AI that scrapes everything. And if you have a breaking news story and you come out and you say a couple of wrong words, Then you have to wait, and you either don't make anything on the video, so you don't get paid for your work, but YouTube will show ads and keep all the ad revenue. And so they make money, but they don't give it to the content creators if you say the wrong words. So if you wonder why this day some people say unalived and they say jabs and the bug instead of the other words, and why they say terry cloths instead of the people with towels on their head that like to blow up things, long-range hole punchers instead of what they actually are. The snuggle struggle, that's right, that's a great one. The snuggle struggle instead of the actual four-letter word. It's all because of her. All of it because of her. So I'm going to read down through the ad apocalypse that changed YouTube forever under her watch. I thought that would be a little fun. So when people are watching YouTube videos and they wonder why they're watching a news broadcast that's not CNN or Fox, and we're talking about things like when we reference the German in 1944, well, the Austrian of 1944, they understand the references, and we're not mentally challenged. We're just playing by YouTube's rules. So the first ad apocalypse came in 2016 after YouTube dramatically shifted their focus toward family-friendly content, affecting many channels with older audiences and undertones, including, I can't even say that name on YouTube, ironically. In February 2017, PewDiePie, the most subscribed YouTuber at the time, came under fire for posting videos that YouTube deemed problematic. The videos included references and jokes about how you doing, hi there, how you doing, the German, the Austrian, as well as two Indian men holding a sign stating bad things. All the same time, videos included Chief Keef dancing to Alabama N-word, and other content was surfacing, leading the UK government, oh, there's a surprise, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Johnson & Johnson, many other brands pulling or pausing their advertisements on YouTube. Now, this is the thing that all of us, many people that are in for free speech, okay? Many of us say, if this is the content, because, Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper and Johnson & Johnson, they will advertise on movies that are rated R, like when they're on TV. They'll advertise during news reports on CNN when they're talking about very catastrophic bad things. And if these companies went to CNN and said, "Hey, you can't report the news like that," CNN, at least back in the day when they had some money and some integrity, would have told them to go pound sand. Like, this is the news. If you want to advertise here, advertise. If not, stuff off. But unfortunately, companies bowed to advertisers. Or I should say streaming websites bowed to advertisers. Social media bowed to advertising. And that allowed the companies and the advertising agencies to determine what can and cannot be said to the public, which is ironically kind of fascistic. I mean, in May 2017, famous American reality TV personality and model Kendall Jenner was featured in a YouTube Pepsi advertisement, which drew criticism from the press due to the video consisting of her giving a Pepsi to a police officer during civil unrest between activists and police, resolving the tension. Many accused the ad of devaluing the issue of police being too rough with people. Due to the public outcry, Pepsi removed all future advertisements from YouTube, furthering the cycle of advertisers leaving from the site. See, those are the activists. That's what the activists do. And that's where we got into cancel culture, which is still alive and thriving today, although it has been tamped down massively since Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X, which is a really big deal. It's actually very, very important that actually happened. A great example, I think it was Zuby, who's a musician. It might not have been him. It might have been somebody else. But anyway, he replied, "Okay, dude, whatever," on a tweet. And it might have been a dude that said he was a girl. It might have actually been a girl. I don't remember. But anyway, he replied on a tweet and he said, okay, whatever, dude. And because he used the word dude, Twitter banned him for life. That's the kind of cancel culture. And it started from YouTube. And because these activists then realize, hey, we can punish YouTube by taking away advertisers and taking away advertising by saying to the brands, hey, did you know you're supporting this? You should stop advertising over here. So believe it or not, this incident that I'm talking about right here is one of the beginning instances of cancel culture. And here we are 7 years later. They say during the summer of 2017, advertisers dwindled even more, only being shown on channels that were considered family-friendly. Many content creators joked and complained that their net worth had decreased due to YouTube and advertisers not deeming them family-friendly. This caused many smaller and aspiring creators to leave the site, having become discouraged from being a creator on the platform. Many content creators that stayed changed and or deleted their older videos, titles, thumbnails, and content as not to be demonetized. Some even changed or added content to their YouTube brand that was deemed more advertiser-friendly by YouTube. And because YouTube's leftist and the advertising agencies are leftist and some of these company brands are leftist, they all were like, okay, we'll do this. And they started shifting culture. Now, as they say here, older video titles, thumbnails, back in I was a YouTuber, I forget what my oldest video is right now, 2019. I think I have my oldest videos like February of 2019. But my channel existed a year before that. But because of these changes, and because I did want to try to make an income on YouTube, I deleted all my old stuff. I deleted it all. It wasn't even necessarily not family friendly. I just didn't know. And I certainly used some of the no words you can't say anymore. So on my other channel on YouTube, I deleted everything. And I started over again. So, again, and the other people that left, and many of you guys know people that have left because of it. Many of them are like men's rights groups and other ones that were chased off the platform very early on because they're misogynistic and toxic. But now you go all the way forward, and Russell Brand is still demonetized. I think Joe Rogan got demonetized, which is what made him decide to jump for Spotify in the first place. Because if you want to have an adult conversation here, sometimes it's not family friendly. And YouTube really hated that. They say many within the YouTube community felt YouTube adopted this policy because it wanted to incentivize creators who are promoting a favored agenda. H3H3 Productions further proved that YouTube advertisements were more likely to go on television-based channels rather than user-generated ones, even if both parties support or show the same agenda. Some of these companies were the ones who pulled their advertising during the adpocalypse. And then the third apocalypse, on February 18, 2019, YouTuber Matt's What It Is posted a video showing what he referred to as No. I'm going to have to edit that word out on the website, placing the blame on YouTube's algorithm. He told his fan base to report this to the companies putting their ads on the site with the hashtag #YouTubeWakeUp. YouTube's response to the controversy was to delete more than 400 channels, suspend comments on tens of millions of videos as the site tried to fix the problem. Now, if you're on YouTube and you post something like a comment and it disappears into the ether in 30 seconds, that's not the content creator doing that. That's YouTube. It's all because of this YouTube crap. This changed the direction of cancel culture and everything else. They say the fourth adpocalypse on May 24th, 2019, Vox reporter Carlos Manza began contacting YouTube demanding that they demonetize and stop hate speech on the platform after conservative comedian and online talk show host Steven Crowder repeatedly made jokes at Mazza's expense based on his ethnicity and his sexual orientation. On June 5th, 2019, YouTube adjusted the terms of service to tighten monetization policies further, thus stripping monetization from dozens of accounts and terminating others. This was met with criticism by parts of the community who dubbed it Vox Apocalypse or Apocalypse 2.0. This is why, when I'm describing a certain community that's absolutely in love with the rainbow, and no, I'm not talking about God's covenant to man not to flood the earth again, I'm talking about the LGHDTV community. You might ask yourself, why do you say LGHDTV? Because if you use the other acronym more than multiple times in the same video, it will flag the video, and thus it'll either get demonetized or taken down. Again, all these weird words that people have to use when recording videos started from YouTube and this crap. It was all under Susan Wojcicki's leadership. And because YouTube is where people went to see the news and to, kind of see the content creators they like, the content creators had to change or get demonetized. And too often people are like, oh, who cares about monetization? Look, if your job's looking at the news all day and recording a couple videos, or if you go to, Donut Car Channel, or some of these others, trying to think of some of the content creators that I've seen before. Linus Tech Tips, the guy that does the computer stuff. They have 40 people on staff. They have editors and script writers and locations and $8,000 cameras, and they have to get the monetization if you want to see TV quality, content coming out. Red Pill, so why are you mourning her? I didn't say I'm mourning her. I said I mourn someone passing away. She was a wife and a family. I'm pretty sure her husband didn't want her to leave. I'm pretty sure her kids didn't want her to leave. But that's why I said she will be mourned by many, just not me and most YouTubers. And that's why we're going over this stuff. Several conservative channels, such as Black Pigeon Speaks, The Golden One, Crowder, and a dozen other political content channels were demonetized, and 3 channels, one of them being Norwegian music survivalist writer and Fallon Vikernes, was terminated. Many conservatives accused YouTube of anti-conservative bias, while other YouTubers, such as Stixenhammer 666 and Ben Shapiro, believed it was corporations like Vox wanting to quash competition. I think it was a mixture of that, if I'm to be honest of it. I think it was a mix of both. You have to remember that Vox was being overly promoted, as were other left-leaning things. And conservatives were kind of being squashed, and they still are. They still are in many instances. In December 2019, a new policy for anti-harassing and bullying was enacted, which many believe was made in response to the controversy. While it was praised by some for making it harder to harass creators, others criticized it for being unnecessary and running the risk of false positives. One such example was the Content Cop video on Leafy, a video which had been integral in exposing Leafy's controversial behavior, getting retroactively taken down, while troublesome creators like Onision were left untouched by the new guidelines. So I thought I would read this because this does tell everybody, or is an interesting conversation, about why we do what we do, why we say things the way we say them, how cancel culture came about, how conservatives got removed from YouTube, and why so many of them are over on Rumble now. And then you have advertisers saying they don't want to advertise on Rumble because they don't support the values of some of the content creators on Rumble. And what are those content creators? Conservatives. They're people that will refuse to call a dude a woman and a woman a dude. They will be critical of some of this nonsense, which is why a video that I put up, like on Rumble, when I talk about the boxer with the XY chromosome and fighting the women's division and winning gold in the Olympics, That's why that does better on Rumble than it does on YouTube. And I get some critical comments on YouTube where I really don't on Rumble, because there are people on YouTube that because of that format, they're more centrist or left leaning, where those of us that kind of make fun of the whole thing, they see it and they don't agree with it. And I think that's why you're getting a little bit of a bifurcation, where if Rumble gets the advertising and gets the support and the monetization ability from advertising at the same power that YouTube does, I think YouTube will be left-leaning videos and centrist and left, and Rumble will become centrist and right, and the two, and that's how they'll do it. And that's another bifurcation in society today, which in many ways is seemingly, at least, the only way we're going to be able to keep doing what we do and make it, because there's more and more inability to meet in the center of the aisle anymore, and people become more permanently kind of based in either the right wing or the left wing world.